Welcome inside the Lemarant Center, NJCAA Volleyball here on this Thursday night. The Daytona State College Falcons defending their home court against the Polk State College Eagles. And we welcome you courtside, everybody. Thrilled you're here. Drew Felios alongside the former UCF outside hitter Aaron Campbell. Aaron, first of all, welcome back to Daytona State Volleyball.
So happy to be here.
Big matchup tonight. What are you looking forward to seeing most?
Yeah, for Daytona State, it's always about running all of their options on offense. Run the 6 players. Use as many offensive weapons as you can. On the flip side of that, for Polk State, they have to play good defense. You have to bear down, be ready for those things, those really tough swings that are come. They get their libero back, first time in 7 matches. She's going to lead the charge on that defense.
All right, tremendous matchup we saw a couple weeks ago against Eastern Florida. Daytona State hoping to put on another big-time show here tonight. For Polk State, though, great talent across the board. Carolina Guerrero leads the way, the freshman out of Brazil.
Brazilians have a very unique style. She's going to bring that in. We saw her play very emotionally in the warm-ups, and we're going to see that in the match today.
And a full roster behind her. Look at some of the top players we are going to be calling out. Keep an eye on number 4, Kayla Rue. She is a handful. Also, number 8, the libero. Welcome back to Irene Mostardini. And the head coach is Herman Devalier. Herman battling through some adversity, some injuries here with this team tonight, hoping to come into Daytona State and pull off the upset. For the Falcons, Laura Munoz has put together quite a season thus far. She has all of a sudden become their top weapon.
Yeah, and such a great balance to Alina Carrillo. You really then have 2 outside hitters that can do the job for you. She's a great L1. Expect to see her get the ball a lot in the pin tonight.
Daytona State led by also number 15, Julia Rinks. I know, Aaron, you cannot wait to watch her do her thing. She has exploded on the scene this year. At setter, Daytona State going to be challenged. We'll tell you about that here momentarily as Ariana Warner suffering an injury yesterday in practice. Falcons are going to be challenged the rest of the season. Still, Laura Booker Anderson, all smiles. She is enjoying every single game coaching this team.
Yeah, and they just have so much energy, especially on their home court in warm-ups. They are ready to go and play this match tonight.
So the Falcons fired up, and there is a look at Ariana Warner, the freshman out of St. Cloud. Once again, it's one thing, Aaron, for it to happen during a game when you're injured like that in practice and likely done for the year. She's shown great spirits tonight, and we just wish her the best.
Yeah, absolutely. ACL is a tough one, but it's, you know, you're young, you can recover quickly. So love to see that. Hope to see her back on the court in the spring.
Anytime you lose a setter in this great sport of volleyball, and the one the caliber of Warner, it is definitely going to put the pressure on this team. And we'll hear a lot from the number 3 setter, Leticia Correa, sophomore, another Brazilian for Daytona State, is going to get an opportunity tonight to contribute. See Polk State. The women in black are here to take care of business, coming off a loss to Eastern Florida. And there is the great Alina Carrillo. She just has such grace about her every time she takes to the court. So quiet, so ladylike, but when it's game time, it's game time.
Yeah, it's almost poetic when you watch her play because she's so delicate and she has this ballerina effect, but when she gets that hand on that ball, all that ballerina and delicacy goes out the window.
How about that for a start? Maya Mendoza, the freshman out of Longwood with the ace. So Maya, that other setter, along with the injured Warner, recruited out of the Orlando area, and of course with those Puerto Rican roots. Attack right side, and it's going to be kept alive. It'll be the first point for Polk State.
That's exactly what you want. You want to have Guerrero running all over the court. Really smart play. Saw the block was set up where she needed to be. Just tipped off the hands. Perfect, easy kill. Sometimes you don't need to hit the ball on the 10-foot line to get the point.
So here's Guerrero serving it up for the Eagles. First touch for Rinks, and that is a hammer you'll see from the left side. Only a freshman. What a future number 15 has. There are some Division I coaches in the house tonight, Aaron. scouting out the competition.
Yes, and I love to see that there are so many players that can be utilized utility-wise, right? You can have players that run different options. A middle doesn't always just play middle. They have the option to run on the outside too. That's really attractive to those coaches.
Right to the middle, and they feed number 3, Emma Testi, the freshman out of Italy.
And even with a setter that's coming in that doesn't have the same amount of experience, just getting that ball out of your hands really quickly to a middle that's already up in the air at that point, has that arm swing up nice and high, you're going to get a kill 9 times out of 10.
Pretty good looking swing on the other side. Crismeli Rodriguez, freshman out of the Dominican Republic. Players from all over the world in NJCAA volleyball. The caliber of play just gets better and better each year. So 3-2. Falcons trying to get that serve back, and that is tapped over by Rodriguez, who was waiting for it.
And if you're a right side attacker, you have a block in front of you, you think that you can tip, you have to tip over that block, especially with somebody that's 6'2", gonna hang up in the air. They're gonna get a paw on that ball. You have to go up and over that block.
A serve. So Polk State with their first lead, 4 serving 3.
And how do you counteract a team that's coming out at home being really fiery? You match their enthusiasm, and that's exactly what Polk State's done so far.
Once again, Polk State first on the attack, and now a 2-point lead here in game number 1. Mentioned how they are facing adversity and challenges, Aaron. Sometimes that can bring out the best in your team. Carrillo, that is just long. So that is 3 straight, make it 4 straight points for the Eagles.
And Polk State is coming in playing like they have nothing to lose. So much good emotion, so much fire on the court right now. Service error, but wow, what a great run of points for them to just slow down that momentum that Daytona State started with.
Falcons now will serve. Aaron, I want you to keep an eye on number 2, Eddie Schultz, who just checked into the game for Daytona State. She was a huge factor 2 weeks ago against Eastern Florida, and there she is getting involved.
And you want somebody in the middle who just knows their assignment. Doesn't want to go up there and bounce the ball and get everybody excited in the gym. That point counts just as much as if you hit the ball on the 10-foot line. Really smart heads-up play.
Eagles back and forth here in game 1. That's just wide.
And for Kyla Rue, 6'2" in the middle, she's got this really long arm swing. You've got to get that ball out of your hands a little bit faster, but leave it a little higher so that she can go and use all that length to go get the ball.
The Eagles trying to get a good swing here. Tapped over. Now here comes Mendoza. Little chip from that left side, kept alive by the libero, Mostardini. Mendoza again, rakes, knows what to do with it.
And this is why Daytona State is so hard to defend. Every single time, there's 3 players on the front row every single time that can outkill most teams. Every single player on there. So you have all these options in the front row from a defensive standpoint. How do you make the decision on what to defend?
How about that smash by Rodriguez, but it just goes wide. And now the Falcons with a run of their own. You know, Daytona State, Coach Anderson said, we went head-to-head with Florida Southwestern State, the #1 team in NJCAA, and outplayed them thoroughly in game number 1, but they still lost 3-1. So Daytona State coming off back-to-back losses to Miami-Dade and then Florida Southwestern tonight. They want to get back on track. The ceiling was a big factor a couple of weeks ago. Aaron, I'm telling you, there were about 10 balls played off the ceiling.
I'm telling you, it always is here. And then, you know, that's what they call it, home court advantage, right? You know that you got to keep an eye out for all of that.
So how about this run by the Falcons? 7 straight now by Daytona State. And finally, timeout Polk State. Halifax Health is a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics and is the official healthcare provider for the Falcon Athletic Program. Halifax Health and Daytona State College working hand in hand. Drew Felios alongside Aaron Campbell and the phenomenal crew here at the Daytona State Multimedia Development Center. Aaron, you weren't here last time. A rare miss for you. I know it had to be for very good reason. How was the trip overseas?
It was lovely. But yes, I am. You've been talking this match up so much that I'm like, I don't know, was it worth it to go over there? I'm kidding. But no, I'm just excited to be back and talking volleyball again.
Yeah, let me tell you, Coach Anderson and her team, that last match against Eastern Florida, it was one to remember. It was a classic one for the archives. And the whole time that night, I was just thinking to myself, having a great time with Ted Sofianos, but I was thinking, man, Aaron would love this match. Both teams just laid it on the line.
I love that.
A true rivalry contest.
I was able to watch the Texas KU game 2 nights ago, and it was just like that. A 5-set, just crazy. Everybody at the end of it, no one's excited that they won because everyone's like over trying to catch their breath. It was just such an amazing match, and from what I have been hearing, this was very similar, so that's very exciting. Good volleyball is so much fun to watch.
So out of the timeout, Falcons riding a 7-0 run, serving. Polk State right to the middle. Nicely done by Kayla Rue, the 6'2 middle.
And when you just leave the ball up for her, she uses all that athleticism. She can make the shot she wants. It doesn't have to be super tricky for her. She's got great athleticism, great height, great jumping ability. Leave the ball up for her to go get.
Now Maddie O'Sullivan winds up. The freshman from right around here, Ormond Beach. Carrillo, good looking swing. Oh, great defensive play by O'Sullivan. And now Daytona State, Mendoza keeping it alive. Here's Rinks. And that is going to be a point for Polk State.
And a team that has great offensive options, what you do, you force them out of system. Great play, forces the setter to take that first ball. Libero has to come in, not the perfect set for the right side. That's how you slow down a very, very aggressive offense.
Team from Polk State, very well coached. Sent over, nicely done. Guerrero getting on the deck. Here come the Eagles, tapped once again. Schultz getting involved, and another quickie to Kayla Rue.
And great heads-up play by Rue. She didn't even actually get back to her point, just kind of ran laterally along the net to be an option. She knew she couldn't get back to her point, was just there communicating the whole time with her setter that she was available, and great kill to the opposite side of the court.
So nice run here by O'Sullivan. That's how you answer out of the timeout. Oh, the Falcons look like they wanted to let that one go. Now trying to get it over. How about that one off the ceiling? Kept alive by Mendoza. Here's Carrillo. Eagles letting nothing touch the ground right now, and Rue finishes it off. That's the third point for her out of the last 4.
And it's because you're not forcing their opponent out of system at all, especially when you have a middle blocker that's scoring all those points. First ball kill in this scenario for the Falcons is critical. You have to put this run down, get the offense, get a good pass, run the offense the way you want it.
That's going to go long.
Or easy point on the service error.
Talk about those service errors. In that game a couple weeks ago, Coach Anderson talked about how they've got to get that number down. It was way too high in that last match.
Yeah, she was saying it was almost a set's worth of service errors between the two teams. That's crazy.
How do you get that down? Is it just a matter of in practice constantly working at it?
You know, serving is the one thing you can control, so you've just got to get back there and like calm down. It's rather, you don't always have to hit your zone, get the ball in the court.
Right side, the big swing, and how about the block by Schultz and Carrillo teaming up?
Exactly what this defense needed for the Falcons. They've been relying a lot on the offense to bail them out of situations. Good tough serve, forces an easy read from the middle blocker. That's exactly what you want. Get this defense along the net, active in this match, and that's an easy way to slow down the offense.
Just long, another swing by Rue. Got to ask you, Aaron, what feels better when you're playing?
Blocking
the perfect
somebody.
block or the perfect kill?
Blocking, 100%. It's the best.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
Here's Correa. And that's going to be too many hits that time for Polk State. So another ace. So here she is, the the sophomore from Brazil, Leticia Correa, serving right now. You look at Jordan Danielson right there. And there is Leticia, the player who's getting an opportunity because Ariana Warner is out for the year. Right from the right side. Correa getting involved, finally put over by Danielson. Good get by the Falcons, and there's Carrillo.
And because Polk State is forcing that middle so much, now they're become predictable. Now it's easier to defend. If you're Polk State, you have to move that ball along the pin. At least move your middle blocker. Run threes, run slides, run a wave two, something where you're mixing up where she's attacking from, because now Daytona State has that zeroed in. They're locked in on that front row attack.
Block there again. Falcons working it defensively. I'm telling you, Schultz, a big impact with Danielson. Eddie Schultz out of Tampa. Greenbrier High School, military family, moved all over the country, and she's adjusted anywhere she has gone. Timeout, Polk State. Assistant coaches also playing a huge part for both sides, as Polk State relies on Diana Barbosa big time to help out on the sideline. You take a look at the stats right there, how both of these teams match up. Daytona State with Kendall Jacobson helping out Laura Booker Anderson. And remember, last year, Coach Anderson did not have an assistant coach. It's not the case this year. Coach Jacobson taking a lot off her plate, doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, it's so nice to just be able to even just soundboard off of somebody, hey, what do you think about this idea? Rather than it all being on you, right? You want to kind of share that responsibility. Great to have her here. And, you know, what you want in an assistant coach is somebody that picks up where you maybe don't feel as confident. So you have an assistant coach who's more of a defensive specialist, or you have one who's more of a serving coach or setting coach, and you're able to kind of balance yourself and your coaching staff with those support staff that you have. Really, really makes the team round out. It's great.
Yeah, Kendall had never been to the state of Florida for volleyball until coming here to Daytona State. So she is.
It's a really bad place to come to, right, for your first time? Oh my gosh, how awful for her. A great elite program in the middle of the great city of Daytona.
Just long from Correa. So side out here to Polk State. So this is Rodriguez, the freshman out of the Dominican Republic. And that one's long. So trading service errors here in game one. And now here is Alina Carrillo. Such an incredible freshman season. Rolls over, and the Falcons will be awarded the point. What happened there?
Back row attack. So setter's back row tried to save the ball on her side of the net, but because she's back row and jumped, basically she can't play the ball over the net. The ball was played over the net, so point goes to Daytona State.
Here's Danielson. It's tapped, so a point for Jordan Danielson, the sophomore from Wesley Chapel in her third season here at Daytona State. Several of these young ladies taking advantage of that extra COVID year.
Yeah, one thing that Polk State said coming into this match is, man, they have to slow down the right side, and so far the right side for Daytona State has been their largest producing kill generator. So it is time to slow that down. But again, once you slow the right side down, you got the middle and the outside to contend with. So just a lot of offensive options for the Falcons.
19-12, 7-point edge for the home team. Oh, that one just kind of got caught. The libero couldn't keep it alive. Riley Wyatt, little surprise that time.
Yeah, and serve receive, you want to make sure you almost like set the ball, because you don't have to you're not going to get called on a double contact on the first play. In defense, you want to create that platform so that ball goes up. So just kind of understanding the trajectory of the ball and that ball control.
Now it's Danielson, a little bit of a knuckleball. She surprised everybody that time.
High ball, high ball, high ball. Was it going to go in or out? Great play. Super sharp cross court. It's a tough play to see, especially if you're behind that block and she's running that play on you. It's really hard to see.
So now here is Riley Wyatt. She has gone really head-to-head with Brooke Hornigy, another defensive specialist on the roster. Great competition, watching them battle throughout the past few months. And right now, Polk State, they have really hit the wall.
And they're just forcing the middle too much. Use the pins, let them play, let them attack the ball. Trying to force that middle on bad passes, it's going to create miscommunication and mischemistry. Just when the pass isn't great, set the pins, allow your hitters to go attack the ball.
That's legal touch. Saw O'Sullivan go to the deck. So right now the Eagles look a little bit befuddled out there. All of a sudden the lead ballooning to 9. Good way to get it back, Guerrero.
Just like that, keep it simple. Allow the outsides to go run for it. Guerrero has one of the best stat sheets in the gym right now. Let her play a little bit more, and it's a great swing off the block. A little bit more tempo, which is fine. You're gonna beat a big block that way, but keep running those pin plays.
Here's Baris serving for Polk State. Game number 1 here at Daytona. Another point for the Eagles, and that is Munoz. A little quiet here in game number 1, starting to make some noise. Averaging just over 3 kills per game. Now it's Maya Mendoza's turn. Right side, Guerrero taps it. Good get by Rinks. Here's Munoz again, want to get her on track. Feed that middle, and it comes through that time. It's Abar, the freshman out of Kissimmee, cashes in.
Julia Ranks just got caught kind of standing too high on that defense. If you're only going to have one blocker on that middle play, you've got to make sure your other 5 players are ready to play defense for anything that comes off the block. Ooh,
that is just in. That ball took a dip. Looked like it was heading out as soon as it left the hand, but then dropped right in front of the line. Oh,
Ooh.
how about that?
Ooh.
My goodness.
Lauren Booker Anderson maybe got more excited than Ranks did on that play, but my goodness gracious. Great pass from the libero, set up an amazing tempo run with Ranks. Oh my goodness gracious.
Block at the net. Abatesti will get another swing at it. Falcons come through. Carrillo. Another block. This is game point for Daytona State. They're certainly playing like it. Try to keep it off the deck, but unable to. Polk State will get another bite of the apple here. Mostardini serving it. Falcons a point away from going up. 1 game to none, and it hits the line. So Julia Rinks finishing strong, and a thunderous kill to go with that shot right there. 25-17 as we head to set number 2 here at Daytona State.
We understand this year has been overwhelming for most of our community. The struggle to take care of yourself and your family. The uncertainty. At Halifax Health, our doors are always open, and we're here to make you feel safe again. We're here so you don't have to hide from your health. We're here to take care of you. Halifax Health. Live your life well.
It's time to claim your career. Daytona State's newest certificate program in hospitality beverage science combines theory and practical hands-on instruction on a range of beverage production processes like craft brewing and wines. Learn how to pair wines and beer with appropriate food choices, produce various styles of beers and wines, as well as how to manage, merchandise, and market beverages. Call 386-506-4DSC or visit us online at daytonastate.edu.
25-17. Result of set number one here on WDSC TV. Drew Felios alongside Aaron Campbell. Late September, my favorite time of the year. Fall sports in full effect. College football going on here on campus at Daytona State. We've got the best volleyball competitions. Also got soccer on the men's and the women's side. And got the doubleheader tonight out at the soccer complex. This campus is buzzing. And they've got the on-campus housing this year as well. So students coming to the games this season in 2022, a much different look this year at Daytona State. And that on-campus housing, Aaron, they've waited for that for so long. It's finally here. Students finally living on campus.
That's amazing. That just makes that true collegiate experience. That's how, my college roommate, you hear that story all the time, right? That's how you develop those first friendships in college. Good to see.
Of course, moving in with the roommates that you don't know at all, when you're a freshman, no conflicts at all, right?
None. None, especially when they're your teammates. Everything goes great. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey, that's part of the college experience.
It certainly is.
And it makes it so memorable for all of these young student athletes. And they are so special. It's so much fun to watch the new faces coming into the program year after year, recruiting. Such a huge part of the coach's responsibilities here on campus. And when you've got these facilities in this program, it kind of recruits itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so much great history of success with this program specifically here at Daytona State. In a state where junior college volleyball is very, very competitive. College coaches coming down here from all over the country because they know that Florida is one of those volleyball pipelines.
So set number one went back and forth about the first 15 points, and then Daytona State took complete control. What's one thing that really stood out to you after that first game?
It would have been easy for Daytona State to be rattled when Polk State was kind of starting to fight back a little bit, but it's actually because it was very, very helpful for Daytona State to stay composed, to run their offense, to not let that kind of slow down their momentum, and then the controlling of the net, slowing down the block, not allowing every middle to just tee off on them. That was really critical for the Falcons to kind of make a more definitive lead and break from the score.
Halifax Health is looking for its next healthcare superstar. Find out how to become one at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment. Game number two coming at you here on WDSC TV.
Oh, great hustle. Oh.
Eagles getting a great chance right there as Eleni Margarita, the middle blocker out of the Dominican, hammers it home.
Great defensive play by Daytona State, but just because of the scramble, Munoz wasn't able to get to her base, basically, and then make that defensive play, easy attack off the hands.
Set back just a bit, had to make the adjustment, did Testy. Kept alive by the Eagles. So Polk State, couple nice defensive plays. Here's Munoz. Munoz gonna have another shot at it. Good job by Polk State once again. Now back row, here's Rinks.
Woo!
How impressed are you
So
of number
impressed.
15?
Oh my goodness, so impressed. That's like a true red out of the back row, like Olympic style play. Use her out of system, setter's front row, just in this rotation. Huge block in front of her, has no fear, rips that ball. Great play.
Tapped over, right in the sweet spot. Margarita Uses all of that 6'1" frame. Just long.
That's tough. You battle, battle, battle. Ball goes out of bounds. Man, that just kills your momentum.
So serve now to the Falcons. And it's Munoz with the jump serve. That one's going to go just long.
Certainly don't want to exchange service errors. Want to make sure to put a definitive stamp on that play. If they give you the point, you don't want to give them one right back.
Right side Rinks. Once again flying through that one. Just a little too much on it.
She had a big line shot. I'm surprised she didn't try to pull that left shoulder around because she had the line to swing on. Looks like she just wasn't able to get on top of that ball because it dropped a little bit too much.
Nice tap. And that one's not coming back. Emma Testi, freshman out of Italy. Coach Anderson says she makes plays. Number 3 does. Just makes you wonder sometimes, how did she do that? That type of player. Here she is serving. Munoz. Oh, how did that happen?
Even the up officials laughing. So we're just going to karate chop defense and then get a kill. Hey, that actually probably counts as a kill right there. Add that to the stat sheet.
Whatever works.
Whatever works.
For all. Libero Mustardini goes back and gets it. Oh, that one with tremendous velocity, and it was Guerrero.
Great play off the hands, recognized where she was off the net, didn't try to crunch that ball. And it's actually her height that does her an advantage in situations like that. If taller players, they're going to want to rip that ball, but because she's a little bit smaller, she has to be smarter. She has to think deeper. She has to try to hit the ball off the hands of the blockers. So great setup for her, great kill off the net.
There's Mendoza. Munoz taps it over. Oh, they somehow keep it alive. Looked like that one hit the deck, but the pancake was able to keep the run going. And there was Eddie Schultz once again. Just that different dimension really can truly be the X factor.
And I think what I love about having Schultz and Carrillo in the front row at the same time is that they play kind of similarly. They're like the quiet contenders. Like having them there and be balanced in that front row is really important because they kind of have that same attitude, same chemistry. So it's a good matchup, a good lineup match.
Oh, what happened there, Aaron? Was that a total miscommunication?
Yeah, miscommunication. Looked like it looked like Rue was running a 1, but maybe the setter thought that they were running a 3 in the set play when the pass was good. So it just goes way too far over. Again, you see it almost like she's coming in at an angle for a 1 or a 2, and it's set into the 3 zone.
Just long. The serve by Correa. Side out back to the Eagles. You have to figure for Polk State, this is probably a must-win game here. You're on the road, been struggling a little bit lately against the odds tonight. You do not want to go down 2-0.
And winning when you're dealing with adversity, it's like, we can do this. When you keep losing, you're like, I don't know how to combat that. We don't have enough players to combat that. You know, there's this whole mentality that goes around that. So it is really important that they sneak one out tonight. But with how Daytona State is playing, it's going to be really hard to do. Everybody seems to be making their assignments, making good reads on defense and in the block. So great serving will lead the charge on that as well.
Carrillo's got it rolling. What an asset to this program. Coach Anderson sensing this could be the moment where Daytona State really separates themselves. They needed that. Kayla Rue for Polk State with another point.
And Schultz just lost her on the track. Thought she was going to stay in front, goes behind, runs like a nice back 6. Maddie O'Sullivan and Rue have been struggling a little bit on their chemistry. They needed that one to get them back on track.
Mostardini just headed out for Polk State. And here's Kayla Rue, the sophomore.
Oh,
Sent
what a
over
play.
quickly. I'll tell you what, Correa, she's looking for playing time for Daytona State. That's a good way
That's
to
how
get
you
it.
do it. Exactly. Heads up play. You know, you have all the setters, you have all your options in the front row, but you're off the net. Why not make a kill? Why not get a kill out of it?
Take a little guts to do that too
Yeah,
in
of
limited
course.
playing time.
Of course.
Show your coach that you've got that court awareness. Big time play right there. Eagles come back able to get the point as the block goes out of bounds.
And so far, that's kind of been the weakness for the Falcons, that right side attack for Polk State. If I'm Polk State, I'm running everything behind. It looks like we've had a lot of those off the hands, off the block. That's a great way for your team to score points. Just the pass has to be there, and the setter has to recognize that that's kind of the quote-unquote weakness on the block right now.
There's Correa. This one's set up and not coming back. Emma Testi again, who's played well thus far. And now the subs, Mendoza and Rinks checking in for the Falcons. You watch the players come off the bench. This Daytona State team, this is as deep a team as we've ever seen, I think.
And they're all so hyped and just like ready to play all the time. Get in there. Okay, I'm up. Yeah, I'm ready. Get me back in. That's what you want. You want a hungry team.
Mendoza, good hands in that back row. Now Rinks. Oh, nice block. 17 gets up. Margarita, number 12, was with her. Andrina Ibar.
Great composure at the net. Good read. Recognized that you needed a block ball in that situation because the ball's off the net, gets right in front of it. Easy block.
So the Eagles down one. Back and forth we go here in set number 2. Mendoza for Munoz. Scramble to get it back over. Falcons play it. Mendoza. Little delay there getting off her feet, but Emma Testi with the right touch.
And I think what's so great about Emma Testi is she's able to really, has like great body control. Recognize where she is, waits, just does anything she can to get that last inch so that she can touch that ball. Nothing's going over her head. She's making the play.
Joust at the net. And once again, Emma Testi. So the middle blocker, the freshman from Italy, has been a difference maker thus far. Seems like they played a different speed coming from Italy, don't they?
Yeah, it's a more composed game too, which is interesting because it is fast, but it's more composed. Yeah.
That time, Mendoza called. Was that an illegal touch?
Yeah, 100%. She knew it. Everybody knew it. We were all just waiting for the. Even he's like, I could let it go, but I'm gonna call it. Especially if you have a back row attacker kind of making that play, it's either a toss-up of what call you're gonna make.
Right side, Rinks. Eagles playing for their lives here on the road at Daytona. And there is Carrillo for Daytona State. Sophomore out of Oviedo, Haggerty High School. Great tradition there. Emma Testi to serve. 3-point lead for the Falcons.
Ooh, yeah, you gotta call that one.
What happened there?
Just double contact. Setters trying to get that last hip around the ball. The ball's served off or passed off the net. It's just like that last step is so critical. And if the ball's low, you can't get that hip around, you've got to think you're going to bump set that one because it's just going to come out of your hands wrong. You're not going to be able to square up. You're going to try to use your hands to push the ball, and that's where you get into trouble with that double contact.
Teaching never ends for Coach Anderson. They had made that switch, Aaron, to the 6-2 this season. Now with Warner injured for likely the rest of the year, it's going to become more of a 5-1. Is it a real big difference in how a team plays? Yeah,
significantly. But I think what they're showing tonight is that they still have the ability to run the 6-2, but they can bail in the 5-1 if they need it. I mean, if Carrera was struggling and wasn't connecting and had a lot of double contacts and wasn't making heads-up plays, there would be a desire to move to that 5-1. But because she's playing so well, you don't need to. 6-2 allows you to have those 3 front row players on the net all the time.
Look at our future broadcasts here on WDSC TV. Make sure and join us October 5th. Women's soccer as the Falcons host Pasco Hernando. And then once again on the 7th. So 2 games in 3 days. Altogether 3 games in 4 days. Got men's soccer sandwiched in there on October 7th. The women follow up on the 8th, and then the men in late October. That Daytona State Eastern Florida rivalry, I just cannot get over it. So fun to watch here in NJCAA. Ranks just wide on the kill. Got to redirect it.
Super hard to make a line shot when you're off the net because you're already only dealing with maybe 10% of the court. When you're off the net, that court size just shrunk to like 3%. So you have to try to get that right shoulder around that ball a little bit more, so you change the direction of where that line shot ends up. But I like that she's going for it. That's the thing. A lot of people wouldn't go for it. Go for it. Why not? Take the swing on it. You'll learn from it next time.
She'll go for it again.
Exactly. Oh, man, that looked good, too.
Looked like it may have been touched, but not the case, says our officiating crew. Tremendous officials tonight. Jeffrey Herricks up top. Mark Mills is the low official. The line judges, Amanda Thompson and Yancy Guadalupe. Rinks from that same spot. Now a chance at a block, and this one is misfired just long. They want the touch, but it's not going to happen.
No, went through the hands. She's going for it, though. That's why she's calling it, because that's exactly what she was going for. Just mishit it. Block was in the wrong spot. Didn't get the hand that she wanted.
So Leticia Correa back serving for Daytona State. So far, she has passed the test. We were wondering how number 14 was going to respond to the pressure here in her home debut, really getting a lot of playing time, but she has not blinked. This ball going just wide.
And too much. See that shoulder rotation? She needs to take that left shoulder in a little bit more parallel to the net, and that ball's in, 100%. She just over-rotated with that shoulder and hip.
Guerrero, nicely done by Wyatt. Tapped over. Eagles not letting it hit the deck. There's Munoz in the back row. Correa for Carrillo.
Touch at the net. Great swing by Carrillo. Again, what I love about her is that, yeah, last year she had a lot of those like really, really heavy swings, but I'm seeing more out of her. She's just understands the assignment of just getting kills. It doesn't matter how fancy they are. It doesn't matter. Just get the kill, get the point, get the ball back to your team to serve.
17-12. Daytona State pulling away here in set number 2. So much to talk about this year with Daytona State sports, and no better to talk about than with Will Dunn, the athletic director at Daytona State. And of course, as soon as we get a camera on him, he leaves the arena. And Tom Labasso, the school president here at Daytona State, they have taken this athletic program to a level just unheard of in NJCAA sports, and such an honor to be a part of it year after year.
And it rivals, any Division II, Division III institution that I've had the experience or the pleasure of experiencing. This just really is state of the art here.
The facilities, the people, the education, second to none here in the state of Florida. And Daytona State now on the verge of going up 2-0. Leticia Correa, an opportunity. A lot of times you see it happen all throughout collegiate sports. Somebody gets an opportunity. It's unfortunate somebody was injured, but someone has to step up in that situation. And Correa getting her chance to shine tonight. Scramble for the ball, not going to get there. And a point for the Eagles.
Much needed side out if you're Polk State. 4 points is a big one. Okay, you can have a 2-point swing here. Keep the ball in play, play good defense. You have your your best attacker in the front row right now, that's not what you want. Especially when you're playing an opponent that's putting these 2 3-point runs together, you have to be able to match that, right? You have to be able to go back there, serve tough, keep the ball, score 1, 2, 3 points on that same serve, but giving it away, it kills you. And you can just see that momentum shift.
5-point edge for the Falcons. That one's going to hit the deck. So Polk State trying to hang in here. We'll make some wholesale substitutions. Carlini Murillo, the setter, will check in number 5 here for the first time tonight. Trying to make some adjustments. Maria Luisa Bariz checks in as well for the women in black. Munoz, nicely done by O'Sullivan. Here's Danielson. Polk State showing some good fight. Falcons will keep it alive and get it over. Polk State off the slide, and the tip is just a little bit wide. Ibar had a great look at it.
Yeah, but I love that Polk State's starting to run that slide, doing something behind, because again, attacking that right side right now is really, really important if you're Polk State. Great eye though from the Falcons. They want to make it easy for themselves. They're going to track that ball all the way out.
Riley Wyatt serving for Daytona State. Hits the net, still finds its way over, and that's a mess for the Eagles. Just unfortunate for them. So Daytona State first to 20. Falcons bench starting to come alive. Riley Wyatt with the jump serve. Touch it from right in the middle. Keep it off the deck. Munoz, that one stuffed. Adriana Ibar, that is a nice play for the Eagles.
And great read, just to get out there, get to the block, be nice and composed. You only have the one option. It's an easy read. Munoz needs to try to go off the hands higher or try to find somewhere else in the court. You don't want to just try to battle through that block.
There's Correa, Danielson. Point for the Falcons. Here comes Rinks, Mendoza right behind her. So Coach Anderson right now loving the play of her players off the bench, coming in, doing their jobs, and going back and taking a seat. That is what makes great teams. Everybody sort of just performing their role the best they can. Rinks will tap it.
Great swing, or great spot.
Now it's Mendoza to the back row, Carrillo.
Love that.
The block is just wide. Good effort.
The second that came off of Rinks' hands, she knew just the sheer defeat in that is in the right spot, just doesn't turn that right hand in. You can see it almost facing out. Would have had that block, turn that hand right back in. Easy point, but great play for the Falcons.
So now it's Rodriguez. 21-16. Polk State trying to hang on to some hope. Daytona State trying to go up a commanding 2 sets. Carrillo tracks it down, and here's Munoz. It's wide.
And we have a player in the net, calling Testy in the net.
Oh.
That'll kill you.
So Polk State will inch closer here. See if we can get another look.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good call.
And a service error to follow it up.
So far, it just hasn't been able to connect on that back row serve, Rodriguez, at all. Has missed almost every single serve that she's put up tonight.
Munoz with the ace. (23-17). All Falcons here, set number 2. Andrea Da Silva now to check in, and Guerrero will have a seat. Daytona State has shown great command since the start. And another set right there where Polk State just behind the 8 ball.
I think they're trying really hard to make those plays out of the net, you know, doing the best that they can. It's so hard to make a play out of the net. The net is unpredictable.
Set point. Ace serve to end it as the Falcons go up 2-0. 25-17 in set number 2. And all high fives on the Falcon side. Herman DeValier, his team is going to have to get it together. Daytona State playing a really, really sharp brand of volleyball right now. 2-0. Falcons lead. We're back to the Lemarant Center right after this on WDSC TV. Great to see all the great opportunities available for students on campus here at Daytona State College. Family atmosphere inside the Lemarant Center, and several coaches in town. Not everybody ready for the camera just yet, but I guarantee you he'll get there.
He's like, I have popcorn. That is the most important thing right now. Okay.
No better place to be than inside this arena here on a Thursday night. Volleyball team treating us to quite a show here thus far. They've been in pretty much complete control over Polk State here heading into set number 3.
And I think what we're seeing tonight, and you may have seen this the other night, but what I'm seeing tonight is a clinic in why Daytona State continues to be one of the teams to beat in the state of Florida. 6 players on the court at all times who do their assignment. 3 players in the front row at all times that can make it big plays, get big kills, fun, energetic, just everything you'd want in a program like this, they are. They embody that, and that's, I think, why they become such an attractive program.
You notice right there in the background, that white board with all the fundamental things that go into their approach tonight, maybe some of the things they emphasize throughout the weekend. You can see how organized this coaching staff is.
I love it. Average players let the game determine their attitude. Leaders or the common athlete use their attitude to determine their play. I love that. especially in a game like this where you have to have short-term memory. Your mental state dictates how you play, and you have to be able to control your attitude, control your emotions to get back in it.
Underway here. And set 3 starts how set 2 ends. Mendoza serving and the Falcons leading. It's always cool to have that little nugget to motivate your team, give them a little extra incentive to come out and take care of business. The Falcons have come to play tonight, back-to-back aces for Daytona State.
An interesting switch for Polk State. So they changed their libero from Irene Mostardi to number 16, Boreas. And so far, those two have had some struggles with getting that pass down off of serve receive.
Here's Guerrero attacking from that right side. Rinks with Mendoza, and now Carrillo. Off the ceiling and no chance.
And when someone like Carrillo's swinging, yes, they don't look like they hit the ball hard, but they hit the ball hard. You have to be able to kind of cushion that ball. If you don't have your body behind it and you're only leveraging your arms, you can't take that heat off the ball, and that's what happens. It's going to shoot off your hands, shoot to the rafters. You've got to be able to control that ball and slow it down.
Everything the Falcons are touching right now is hitting the floor on the other side.
And a very special moment between Booker Anderson and Mendoza. Great heads-up play by the setter, number 11.
Eagles trying to get on track, and finally a point scored by Rodriguez. You know, it's so cool to watch in this game of volleyball. You come in there and with such an approach and a strategy, and it's got to go here and there. But it's good to just let the hair down and just celebrate and let it rip.
I know, and have fun and play. Gosh, how much fun is this game to watch, let alone imagine how much fun it is to play.
Absolutely. Mendoza now Rinks. How can you stop her when she elevates like that?
I mean, just what I love about her is that she's breaking the mold of what you expect a middle blocker to be. She is the true utility player. Great set, completely beat Rue, but where we're seeing her most efficient is on the right side. But yeah, okay, put her in the middle, sure, why not? Let her run the attack. You know, I love that, her ability to be kind of that utility player.
Here's Carrillo. Dug on the other side by Mostardini. And now Falcons scramble for it. Mendoza to Rinks. Really good looking point here. Maybe one of the best of the match, and the Falcons win it.
And I think we talk about Rinks and her attacking, but we forget, we'd be remiss to not talk about her as a blocker. First off, your opponent doesn't even want to set the pin because you're out there, A, but then you're out there and you make big blocks like that after you just had a huge swing on the ball. It's exactly what you want. And again, we're seeing just that shoulder shift. Rue wants to hit that 10-foot line so bad at that tee. She's just got to change the direction a little bit, and that's an easy kill. But because both of those balls have gone out, you can't keep hitting in that same direction expecting a different result.
Another ace for Daytona State. Munoz in a groove, and you know, she has been very quiet tonight, number 8 for the Falcons. She's gotten such great support. Everybody around her just doing their job and then some.
Well, and I think that's the beauty of having a true team. You're not relying on one person to dictate how the whole match is going to go. You're able to mix up that offense and run people. And if people are being teed up on, or their blocks being set up, you have the other options to run your offense across the net. So it's good to see that it's a true team effort.
Andrea Da Silva coming into the game here for Polk State. 5'9" sophomore, outside hitter. And that's a good way to come off the bench and make something happen. Because right now, if you're Polk State, here we are, set 3, you're down 2-0, Aaron. I mean, what are you thinking? You have to throw the kitchen sink here at Daytona State.
100%. And all is not lost. You know, you just have to try to find some kind of rhythm, and that'll be one way to do it. Play good defense.
Mendoza scrambling for it. Nice put over by Wyatt. Just a little wide, though, and Polk State will have another point. It's 8-4. You're just joining us, games 1 and 2 to Daytona State, trying to make this a clean sweep. Emma Testi brings the broom.
So you know that the blockers are gonna double block on ranks. Why not go to another one of your amazing high efficiency attackers on the front row and get Testy the kill?
Rinks comes over, and now Munoz into the net for the Falcons. Tough shot to make when it's coming at that angle.
Yeah, and I think she maybe lost it in the light a little bit.
So now Rodriguez, out of the Dominican, the freshman, to serve, trailing by 4. Polk State trying to claw back, and you've got to serve in if you want that to happen.
And a tough night for Rodriguez at the back line, has yet to make a serve. It's got to be frustrating.
So the Brazilian, Correa, who has given him a big lift tonight, into the game, and she'll serve. Tell you what, she's brought an element tonight that you can tell Polk State did not plan for.
Yeah, agreed. Really has done an amazing job stepping in. I mean, Lauren Booker Anderson said, I was smart. I recruited 3 setters, and they're all great. You know, how do you decide between 3 great setters all the time? It's good to see that you kind of have that depth, especially in a position like the quarterback of your offense.
That one is tapped in and down. Margaritha, the point for Polk State. You mentioned those 2 setters that Coach Anderson recruited. They both come from the same club program, Top Select, here in Florida. She said she wanted to make sure that those 2 had some good camaraderie, and hence the good start by Daytona State this year.
Well, and especially if you find a club that kind of runs the system the way you want, you want to go get setters that are in that club, because that's how you want to run your system. You don't have to train them into that system, which is really important. I think Top Select has that same feel.
Correa with Munoz. Polk State swinging. Good dig in the back row by Wyatt. And now Correa. Left side, nicely done. One of the best points of the match for Polk State as Margaritha with the kill.
And boy, when you see that, you think, oh man, they haven't set her enough, right? Wow, what an athlete on the outside. Has had some great blocks. Maybe has been underutilized on the outside because they've been trying to force the ball to roost so much on offense.
Back row Munoz. And right off the hands of De Silva. Here's some of the fans shouting to Daytona State, don't let up, don't let up. Put this one away. Daytona State exceptionally good at home this season. Point awarded to the Eagles. How about this effort?
Gets the pancake. I mean, what is Wyatt supposed to do there? Just tries to get the ball up in the air. It's going to be a double contact, but maybe the ref won't call it. Tries to make a play out of it. That's tough.
Correa locked in here tonight. O'Sullivan serving. Here's Correa for Danielson.
No, that wasn't out.
Correa keeps it alive. Wyatt, Munoz. Front row Guerrero.
Wyatt putting on a defensive clinic at the moment.
Munoz again. Polk State starting to up their level of play, but right there, it's Elena Carrillo with the last say.
And it's plays like that where you see that your team's scrambling, you want to slow the ball down. That's why she's not swinging heavy on the ball. She didn't expect to get a kill out of it. She just wanted to slow the tempo of the swing so that her team could get back to play defense. And it turned out to be a kill. Love plays like that.
5 points separates these 2 teams. I'll tell you what, Margaritha, she wants the ball right now for the Eagles.
And has to sub out, which is so unfortunate because, man, she was really on a roll there. What an athlete. Look how long she is, has so much height to her. 6'1", great athlete.
Mostardini trying to keep this run going. Munoz
Woo!
starting to come alive. This is her set. Laura Munoz.
And it's a good matchup. Guerrero moved out to the right side because they want to get the ball to the right side. They want to attack it. But what that does is that leaves the shorter blocker. Previously there was Margarita out there. Now shorter blocker, better advantage for Munoz against the block.
Munoz out of Spain. Had tough competition last year trying to break the lineup. Savea Frobel, the superstar. She was playing underneath her on the depth chart. Here's Rinks. She continues to hammer away. Julia Rinks. That's a great thing that you want in a program. You want depth. You want players that come in and can learn from the player ahead of them.
And be hungry to get on the court, right? Because then you're creating that healthy competition. It's not just, oh, I'm going to wait my turn. It's, oh, I want my turn to be now, though. And you love that. Makes you excited to watch the volleyball.
Point for Polk State. The hammer by Rodriguez. And Aaron, that's made it so difficult, especially with big-time NCAA volleyball, because today with some of today's athletes, they want to play right now. They don't want to wait, hence the transfer portal and what's going on, all the movement in collegiate athletics.
For sure. But, you know, some people pick programs they know they can start, and that's okay. That's what you want. But if you want to play at a big program and you want to have a great career and you want to, you know, play for a Big Ten, a Big 12 team, you have to be willing to wait your turn and be humble enough to know that you're not ready. Because a lot of times people aren't, and that's okay.
Absolutely, well said. 4-point gap here, Munoz.
There she is. Great matchup.
When she decides to show up, look out.
Yeah, and it may be to the fault of Polk State coaching decision to put Guerrero on that right side to try to get some production, because now you're really opening up the court for Munoz to swing on top of everybody else on the Daytona State team to swing.
Top offensive threat for Daytona State. Right there, Laura Munoz. See our official discussing
Looks like they're out of
something.
rotation, potentially.
Mark Mills trying to get this situated here.
So we talk about Daytona State being an institution. Mark Mills is an institution in Central Florida volleyball. I think he's reffed every single level that I've played at and or have talked about. So great official to have,
You know, you've got those officials that you just get to know, you see over the year, and you know when it's a big match, you know what face is going to be on it.
Yeah, exactly. Big matches, you want the best of the best.
It's
Great
in.
Serve.
Munoz with a big smile. She said, did I just do that? That ball dropped like a hand grenade.
Accidentally on purpose. Totally didn't mean to do that on purpose.
She is loving it. Falcons all smiles. The tale of two sides. You see the assistant for Polk State, Diana Barbosa, when we talked to Coach Herman before the match, he said the reason why our team is somewhat good is because of her. She does most of the grunt work in my program. But obviously, as we said, Aaron, adversity they've dealt with, injuries, got a couple players out, a couple players just coming back tonight. Kind of a tough spot heading into the buzzsaw that is Daytona State. Fans excited to be inside the Lemarant Center. Again, soccer going on outside, volleyball inside. It's going to be so much fun to watch this team down the stretch of the season. To win a championship, you got to have a lot of things go your way. Got to have a little luck. Got to stay injury-free for the most part as well.
And just willingness to fight through fatigue, because it's long. It's a long season, and it's a long road to get to a championship. So just understand that fatigue's going to set in. What mentally tough teams are the ones that come through at the end. It's not always about skill. Oh, good pass.
And that's going to be a quick point out of the timeout. Kayla Rue, the middle. It's been sort of an adventure watching her play tonight. Trying to get her the ball right where she wants it. But obviously a player, when she gets going, can do a lot of damage. Oh, Rinks. She's had some draw droppers tonight.
Wow. Wowza, wowza. What an athlete. My goodness. Are the Netherlands known for their volleyball? Not really, right? I mean, this is just incredible. What an athlete. Just being able to go up there. Reads her. The thing I think is most impressive is still being able to read the block in a position that she's not assigned to play tonight and just make big plays.
Go right to that middle. Eddie Schultz. Boy, that front line right now. You got Schultz and you've got Rinks. When these two are clicking.
Don't forget Carrillo on the
Oh
outside.
my goodness.
Goodness gracious.
I'm telling you.
Who do you defend? Just pick a card, you know, any card. Pick a hitter to defend, any defender.
Here is Carrillo. Wants one back. O'Sullivan have to touch it over. See if they go back to Rinks. Instead, they go Carrillo. Munoz and Schultz. Carrillo misfires.
Just keep setting her 5, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. No, great heads-up play. Tried to make up a different shot. Didn't really have the shot she wanted. Tried to go for it. Didn't get the full approach. It's bound to happen, especially in a scramble play like that. Try to use that pipe in that situation. Try to go to that middle back and have them take the swing so that you can free up some of the relief from Carrillo.
Here's Rinks. Was there a touch? Yes, there was. So Rinks will now come out. Jordan Danielson will head in, along with Leticia Correa, as Daytona State looks for the knockout blow here. See the ball clearly touched off the fingertips. I don't know how the judge up top can see that.
Part of it, it's like I think they hear it. I don't know.
Man, that is
It's
such
so
a
hard
tough call to
see.
make.
I know. Oh!
When it's your night, it's your night.
Little prayer to the volleyball gods later on tonight. Thank you for that one.
Sorry, not sorry. Leticia Correa taking advantage of the opportunity. Touched over by O'Sullivan. So a 7-point set here, Daytona State in the driver's seat. Leticia Correa, again, in for Ariana Warner, the number 3 setter, getting an opportunity here on campus and taking full advantage. It has been fun to watch her take the ball and just run with it here tonight. Touched over by Danielson. O'Sullivan, a couple players nearly collide. Carrillo, back row, good get by Da Silva. And there's the block. Eddie Schultz, once again, Danielson right next to her.
Great read by the front row. Margaritha has had some really good swings. Want to get out there, make sure you have a sound block against a pretty heavy hitter. Great job by Schultz to make her way to the outside.
Another ball just drops right off the table. Alina Carrillo, another ace. It's 23-14. Daytona State running away with it. They're a point away from a sweep.
Oh, great dig. Oh.
Falcons trying to keep it off the deck. Great effort by Correa, but the point to the Eagles. Correa for Danielson, and that is going to do it. Daytona State with a coming out party here on WDSC TV. 3-0. They go right through Polk State. Jordan Danielson, the final point. Impressive from start to finish.
Full team win for Daytona State. Everybody got a kill. Everybody got a block. Everybody got a dig. Just a really true team win. This team is going to go and do far this season. What a great group that they have on the court.
So as much of a struggle as it was a couple weeks ago in that 5-set marathon, tonight, Daytona State has their way, and they absolutely put on a show. Well, Halifax Health is partnering with WDSC and Daytona State College to provide assistance for the education you need to start your healthcare career. Find out more at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment. Hit us up on social media, as Daytona State very active on social at DSC Falcon Sports. The hashtag Go Falcons and DSCFalcons.com for all your athletic information of all teams here on campus. What a night it was. Daytona State taking care of Polk State in 3 sets. Aaron, it was a pleasure working with you once again.
You too, bud. Great night to be here. Thanks for having me back.
It was certainly awesome. Well done by everybody involved at Daytona State. Head coach Laura Booker Anderson and her team improve to 7-2 on the season. There's the names of our phenomenal crew here on campus at WDSC TV. For Aaron Campbell, I'm Drew Felios. So long from Daytona State College. We will see you next time on the soccer pitch. Take care, everyone.